He's a realtor. There is a difference somehow.
This is Multiple Offers, a real estate show.
All right, come back.
All right, there is. I feel like it's the New West Guys show today.
Oh, don't say that. That's the first thing you said.
Sorry, Jeff.
It's kind of obvious. Jeff's not here, man.
No, and this is episode. What are we at? Episode 40?
44.
44. And I don't know if there's any significance to that being a galaxy.
No, if for the sports fans, we can go to my world now.
Okay.
Canucks Eric Goodbranson, number 44, was traded 2 days ago.
Oh, that's sad. Should pour one out for him.
Yeah, if we want to go through Canucks 44s, but let's not do that. But he's the 44 in the Vancouver recent history.
Cool. So today, obviously, people can tell there's no third person, and I got to record the little intro part, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but Jeff would never let me do it. Where's Jeff? Do we know?
Yeah, Jeff is at the RE/MAX International Convention.
Fun.
Every year in Las Vegas.
Very fun. Learn a little bit, have a little fun.
Yeah, and he's a contributor as well.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so Jeff makes a lot of videos in his marketing, and it was noticed by RE/MAX International, and they invited him to come and share some of his best tips and tricks.
And while he's away, we decided we should make a video. So we are working on getting the podcast on the YouTubes.
Hopefully you're seeing this one.
If you're watching this on the YouTubes, then it worked. If it didn't, we'll keep trying. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing that's new with us right now. Should we skip right to the news?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's been on everybody's mind, at least in the real estate world, is this is making headlines. So let's talk about it.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I got a news flash for you, Walter Cronkite.
I am enlightened.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
This is Multiple Offers, a real estate show.
All right, well, I think we know what's been making headlines.
We do.
Well, okay, if you watch the news, if you listen to the news, the headlines is that the NDP is rolling out another one of their points.
One of the points. What are we at? We're at 20.27 if you're counting.
If you're counting from 30 down to 1.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, depends. So either or. So we're either on number 3 or 4. Who knows?
I don't know, but they're trying to check off some points. So what they've done is they're trying to attack the pre-sales world, where justifiably people were making money. They were making money flipping a pre-sale purchase before the project completed. But what they were selling wasn't a condo. They were selling a promise. They're selling a contract.
They already bought a promise. They brought some air, and then so they're trying to sell that.
Yeah, so they're selling that contract, and the way that it's been outlined is it's a loophole, because when you sell a contract, there's no actual tangible item changing hands,
right,
and it's impossible to track. There was no mechanism to monitor that, so people weren't reporting the profit that was being made.
Yeah, and the big problem with that is the government's like, you're not paying us for that transaction.
Yeah. So they're not getting their capital gains tax, or it goes on income tax, or there could be property transfer tax triggered in there as well. So every time it changes hands, they want to be able to track that, and people report that as part of their income. So that's why they brought it in. And then they wanted to charge about $195 for a filing fee every time that happens. The nuance that's getting some attention from people, they're saying this isn't really making sense, is a lot of what happens with the assignment when a pre-sales contract changes names. One person signed up and bought it, and they said, oh, well, I'm actually going to put it under my corporation. So that contract technically gets assigned. That triggers a $200 fee in a filing with the government, although the price is no different. Or the husband only put his name on it. He was there when they signed up for the pre-sale, but then later on it's, well, we're going to put husband and wife on. Right. Or we're going to change it from husband to wife, or dad to daughter, or
which is just an honest circumstantial change. Yeah. Maybe the kid wasn't there. Maybe that was the plan all along.
And there's no change in value.
No.
Or price, I should
There's
say.
There's no lift, as we would call it.
Yeah, the lift is
the biz.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's one part of it.
Okay.
And then the other part is, okay, so there are the people who can turn around and sell this for a $25,000 profit or a $50,000 profit, and all they're selling is a contract. They managed to get in early. Does that help with housing affordability?
I don't think so.
I don't think it helps at all.
No.
Because of all of the profits that were made, let's say behind closed doors, it was never public record. So how is that affecting overall real estate prices?
Yeah.
If it's sold in a pre-sale as 500 and by the time it makes it to completion 2 years later, the real estate market has appreciated. That 500 is now worth 620.
Sure.
And that's what somebody is reselling it for. They're assigning it for 620 because that's what fair market value is.
Yeah.
That's not changing affordability at all.
Exactly. And so for the consumer, the buyer, does this make housing more affordable for them?
Not at all.
No. Does it create more housing?
Not at all.
Will we see any effects from this?
Well, it could.
The government will get some more money.
The government will get some more money, and it could slow down pre-sales.
Okay.
Potentially.
So if you're in the pre-sale game, you have to buy something brand new. Maybe there'll be fewer people bidding on that same unit.
Some people, I guess, would buy pre-sales under the premise from the very start that they want to assign it before it completes, so they don't have to pay GST, they don't have to pay property transfer tax, and they can just make some profit and walk away with very little work, very little capital outlay, right? So that may slow down some pre-sale purchases. But I mean, as long as the value is there, I mean, what we know is the pre-sale comes out of, it goes into the inventory mix once the product is finished, and all of those investors put renters in them.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of how that goes. So it's been making news headlines. It's just another piece. We talk about this every time a government announcement makes the news. It's got unintended consequences.
Yeah.
It doesn't have all of the details figured out. It's a lot of lip service.
Yeah.
And I use the term unintended consequences because I was curious to hear what some other people had to say about this. And the Vancouver Sun now has their own real estate podcast.
Yeah.
It's called Housing Matters. And they had a guest on, and he kept using that term over and over and over again, unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Everything from the government seems to have this, where they don't think it all the way through, or they just don't care.
Yeah. Just a half-baked idea that that sort of lends itself to making it look like something is
They
happening.
want the optics to keep checking off one of their 30 points.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's the news. If you have any thoughts on that, if you want to contribute any other news stories, please send your feedback to feedback@morealestateshow.com. I'm speaking to you, the listeners and the viewers. And if you've been enjoying our show, please consider leaving a review. Reviews are very helpful on iTunes, 5-star reviews there. And subscribe. And we are putting this on YouTube as well. So if you're liking that and you like the video format, let us know by commenting and subscribing in that venue as well. So we know that we can put more effort. And if you want to see any improvement on this, we'll definitely give that some attention if you're liking it on YouTube. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.